All right. So, normally I would ask one of you to give a recap of our last session, but given
Please
that we
don't.
are coming back together after a nearly 2 month hiatus, I think it's appropriate for me to give a quick rundown after going through my notes. Uh, and if you disagree with me on anything, then your character is dead.
Actually, I have perfect memory of every dance session.
Okay,
In character, I
you
have
know,
perfect memory.
you know what, Fox? Let's hear it. Give us a recap of last session.
All right, Fox is giving it. Okay, can I time warp to get this whole paragraph of recap in within as a reaction during combat?
There is no combat.
You're
Dead.
mid-combat still.
Yeah, part of recap number 1. We're still in combat.
With what?
The cranium rats.
Oh, Jesus. Alright. Yeah, the big thing's dead.
All right, everyone listen up. Fox is gonna breathe in the middle of combat, look around, and he's just gonna say, "What's in the name of the Obsidian is wrong with you all? Why are we still fighting? Why have we gotten the 2 safe houses in a row filled with untold monstrosities? Aldrich, what the hell is wrong with you? I've revived you 3 times there, and yet each time you keep throwing your body uselessly against the frog. Gideon, what was that chittering? Why were you crawling on the ground like an animal? Clara, why are you off in the corner doing nothing? Tavro. Yeah, you were doing fine. Aldrich, you're... Asher, keep up the good work.
You got it, boss.
Somehow you didn't die, which is impressive.
I feel great.
But back to the other thing. Tavro, you better not be using that damn orb you've got, because it's gonna be the death of us. Same to your dagger.
Same to your scroll.
I use mine only in emergencies. You freely feed that dragon of yours telling
Your
you to
scroll
kill
free.
us.
See?
I was possessed by the rats.
Back to that. You could have at least warned me that my uncle who hates me was your superior. How do I know you haven't been reporting everything back to him this whole time? Gah. And you, Tavro, you too report to my uncle for some reason?
That's just because I'm around. I've just been around these past couple days to a week-ish.
We should have
I
left here.
actually,
Why
I
are
actually
we
report
fighting this
directly to Sunhome.
nonsense?
Hey, Fox.
What?
I think I killed another horrendous monstrosity. I think I'm getting good at this.
Yes, Escher, and we are all proud. But
Thank
again, why are we fighting this monstrosity in the first place? We're trying to get together, calm area, so we can plan how the hell we're getting into Rakdos. Why is it that every safe house you have found is filled with untold horrors beyond our imagination?
Because the city's not safe? Seems like a pretty reasonable explanation.
Why didn't we just get a hotel room or something?
Because we're fugitives from the law.
You explicitly told us not to spend money?
This is indeed a fair point. I suppose this is free. I will concede that to you.
In fact, I remember it was exactly 18 hours, 14 minutes, and 32 seconds ago. You said find something that won't cost us a dime. Or a silver.
All right, so that is genuinely the best recap I ever could have hoped for. I will just add in a few high-level things just to keep everybody aligned. So your general goal when you last left was to find a safe house that you could continue your work with the corpse of Balim and rest up, prepare, and be safe for in your preparations to head to Rixmati, ideally before the Boros march on the guild hall. You went to a first warehouse, which the entity that has been contacting Fox through his scroll seems to have some sort of increased influence over. Going into something beyond real comprehension, weird spectral forces. Escher found a few things that he took ritual materials from there, and you all went to the second safe house, which was filled with a strange creature as well as Simic experiments that began reacting with Aldrich's swarm. Most of them have been cleared out. Escher just dissolved a good portion of the Froghemoth, a Slotty Crassus hybrid, and that has now dropped dead. And the last thing that you are aware of here is a series of rats with brains exposed that are using their psychic powers against you, having already dominated Gideon, tying in a little bit with his newly found druidic nature. With that, Aldrich, it is your turn.
May I make one amendment to that?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
All I took from that other warehouse were 2 black knives. I didn't take the rest of the ritual stuff.
I thought you took a table too.
I thought
I
we
couldn't
took
do
the
it.
paper.
He wanted the table, but no one took the table. You took the 2 black knives and the piece of paper, I thought.
Oh, was there a piece of paper? I don't have it in
Yeah,
my
there was
inventory.
a piece of paper with like a. Well, I think I took it and threw it in the scroll case too.
Or yeah, Fox I think has the paper in the scroll case because
That's why.
it had strange writing on it in the same language as the scroll, as well as a series of symbols, one of which is the same symbol that his scroll is sealed with.
Yeah, I was gonna say I take pretty good care of my inventory. I don't think I have that.
But yeah, you got the 2 ritual knives.
Yep, they seem neat.
All right,
That's all I could take.
that will bring us to Aldrich. You,
So-
as the Froghemoth dissolves, being consumed by the bacteria colony coming out of Escher, you are dropped to the ground as the thing was previously eating you, and you kind of feel this purple strain that you've been seeing as coming out of the Froghemoth going out to all of the smaller slotty and rats in the room. You kind of feel that connection die from the Froghemoth, and it is just kind of, it's almost like floating, waiting for something to command it. There's also still the burst of cranium rats, and you see as the purple strains of like psychic tethering start to get pulled towards where you know the rats are.
Towards where the rats are. And so Aldrich, knowing, like, he's become more accustomed to his swarm, and he's pretty much like understood that this is like the hive mind of a swarm, and he's like, oh, they're gonna take control. Like whatever the Froghemoth was controlling before is up for grabs. So I don't know what counts as an action for this, but he's gonna try to like put out his hand and try to like toward where he sees the strands and try to pull at it himself. I'm not sure if I could do that or not, though.
You know, I'm gonna need you to roll a D100 because you don't 100% know how to do that yet with anything other than your crawl. So this is gonna be basically a luck roll.
Okay. Okay. Sorry, I'm like 1 minute from my house. Could you roll that for me?
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I forgot you were still driving.
That explains it. Why are some of my things red?
All right. You are able to kind of like reach out, and you still don't quite understand how this all works, but you do know that these strands, you might not know how to control them yet, but you can feed on them. And So you are going to make a contested wisdom throw against the rats.
All right, and
And you feel like the like this tugging sensation between the two of you, but you have more control. Maybe not control, but you have more strength. And you start to wrest control away from the rats. It's still in contest, but you have the upper hand. The rats are not able to take it from you. I will say that is your action, so you still have movement and bonus action. And you are prone from being dropped from the froghemoth's mouth when it died.
I want to say that Aldrich is just focusing completely on this and is just like not getting up, not moving, just completely focusing on this. So he's not going to do anything else.
All right, Fox. There's a group of rats. You see as Aldrich kind of like falls and you see him begin concentrating on something, but you're not quite sure what. The rats are still chittering and you see as their brains in their head start to like glow this bright, deep purple.
Fox is gonna be maniacally like standing in front of his corpses as he spots these rats, and he's just gonna sort of hold on, I have to just yell out, "There are still rats! Protect the corpses, damn you all!" And fire off the firebolt.
That'll hit. All right, yeah, you send off this burst of flames, and you see as one of the rats kind of just looks up at the last second as the firebolt hits it, and you completely burn away that one rat from the swarm. Now looks like there's about 4 left.
Yeah, I'm just gonna stay there where my rat or my corpses are.
All right, I'm gonna remove the Froghemoth from the initiative tracker. And then the rats go. So they... I need to check their speed. Yep. They are going to actually just come out, and you see as they are dashing. And they get right up, and you see that they are trying to swarm around Aldrich as they just run through, and like they almost seem rabid and single-minded, and for whatever reason all they want to do is
as they go by.
You can
Wait, Brian, what's your reach?
Oh wait, you still have a reach of 10 feet. They have not left your reach.
They have to hit Aldrich.
I thought last time we determined that wait, no, maybe I'm just going insane. Yeah, alright.
So, okay, so I'm pretty sure that they do have to leave your reach for you to make the opportunity attack, but being a swarm, they have to be in Aldrich's space for them to attack, so he should be able to hit them, right?
Well, I say that they're swarming around Aldrich. They used a dash and got within 5 feet of Aldrich, but that is their entire movement speed where they are.
Oh, okay, so they're not actually attacking him.
No, they used a dash to get there. They are still within your range, Tavro.
Gotcha.
All right, that is all they are doing. Now, Tavro, you don't have to use a reaction. You can use your normal attacks. What would you like to do as you see this swarm of psychic rats just rush past you?
Yeah, so just to make sure I remember things correctly, this thing is dead, right?
Correct.
It's only the rat.
The rats,
Gotcha.
and there's like all these frogs and like normal rat swarms that are just like they're kind of just like cowering around the room. They honestly almost look brain dead right now. Like when the Froghemoth dropped, they all just stopped moving.
Right. I forgot about that.
So the only things that are still like conscious and moving other than your party members are these psychic rats.
I gotcha. I'm gonna move down 5 feet, and those cranium rats are still within range, and so I'm gonna smack them.
Good boy.
You know, I want these dead. I will. Oh, they're rats. I
They
will reckless attack.
mind-controlled somebody.
That's true. I will reckless attack just to make sure we fucking kill these things.
Ooh.
Yeah, 28 will hit. You're targeting the Dolgaunt.
Oh, fuck. Sorry.
But that's
I
fine. If you just target the rats and then roll damage, I think it'll roll damage against the rats. I can also apply it myself. It's
I
not a
just
big
had
deal.
Let's see if it works.
I just had this moment of like, no, he's not, and then I
No.
realized I'm looking at mine.
Sorry, I didn't.
It's fine. Yeah, so you just take your spearhead and instead of like stabbing, you kind of sweep it across them and you just cleave 2 of the rats in half. And now the last 2 are kind of like looking up at that. The other 2 that are still there don't even seem to notice that 2 of them just died. All they are focused on, it looks like, they're just staring at Aldrich, getting ready to attack.
Good thing it's not
Gotcha.
that many rats.
Luckily for me, I have another attack.
Yeah, do that again.
Okay.
Oh, good advantage.
Yeah.
Not great damage, but it's still damage.
That's still pretty good.
Yeah, and you cleave through, like you then bring your spear down onto one more and burst the rat. And now there's just one left that is still, and like you can actually see it's almost strange as each of the other rats dies. This one, the brain sticking out of its skull, is glowing brighter and brighter and brighter.
And Aldrich just asked, please don't kill it yet.
Well, I don't have any more attacks, so you're good. You're good there.
Oh, sorry. If you're gonna do bonus action or movement.
I was gonna just do movement. Actually, Fox, where are the bodies located? In what spaces?
My space, because I think technically I was holding them at some point and moving them around, so they are right next to me.
Yeah, I think you've
I'll
just been
move here.
dragging them around. Like they're effectively in your space.
I'm just gonna be a big meat shield just in case. And that's the end of my turn.
All right. Clara is being controlled by me tonight. So, she is going to hear Aldrich say, please don't kill it yet. She's going to go, I don't know how to light things on fire non-lethally.
Blow herself up.
She's lighted on fire normally.
And she is going to... You know, she's going to ready an action to attack them if they attack any of you guys with a firebolt. Gideon, what would you like to do?
We're talking about these 2 rats that are here, right?
Now it's only 1 rat, but yes.
Okay. And we don't want to kill them.
Apparently.
I mean, you guys can kill them. It's just Aldrich who says not to. Like, it's your choice.
Well, I'll listen to all. I'm gonna venture up this way with my 30 feet to see what else is in the house. And these circles are all puddles, right?
Yes.
You don't step in them. It's they're like nasty goo shit.
Yeah. So far, anybody who has stepped in them, the puddles have like reacted and come up to. It's almost like an ooze that reacts to you stepping in it and tries to grab at you.
Yeah, so I want to avoid that. But I'll also take the same action that Laura has, where I'll ready an attack to go after it if it attacks any one of us.
Sure thing. All right, so you knock an arrow on your bow, getting ready to fire, but waiting to see what the rat does next. Kai, what would you like to do?
Given what Escher just said to me, I am going to try to pick up a rat.
Nice.
So, I think I'm just trying to grapple it. I'm literally trying to hold it in my hands, like with its teeth away from me.
All right, I'm pretty sure that's an athletics, a contested athletics roll.
Alright. I hope I'm stronger than one rat. Let's see.
He can't do acrobatics.
Is it athletics or acrobatics?
I think.
I thought it had to be athletics for the
I think
aggressor,
you're
and then
right.
the defender could do either.
I think it's for a grapple. Yeah, to initiate a grapple, it has to be athletics. This is just so far from a normal grapple that I was like, why can't he just be fast and catch it?
Well,
Yeah, you know what? Are you trying to grapple it as in hold it down, or are you actually trying to like pick up this rat and like
I'm
have it in
trying
your
to
hand?
rip it off the ground.
I would honestly say so. You can either do athletics or sleight of hand against that,
Alright.
because it is a tiny rat. Like it's not an overgrown rat. It just has this weird skull thing.
So those are the same modifier for me, so
Okay, then it's still the 11.
yeah.
Wait, really? Is your dex that low?
No, it's my strength is low, but I'm proficient in athletics.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Did it work?
Yeah, so the rat is going to try an acrobatics check to avoid it.
Nat 1.
And
Nice.
you are able to kind of just like dart to the side, and it is so focused on Aldrich that it almost doesn't seem to notice you until the last second, and by the time it's dodging away, it's too late. You have this rat in your hands.
Okay.
And I just go, Aldrich, alright, now what?
Give me a second. As it's Escher's turn. That's-
Yeah,
But yeah, it is
I can
Escher's
help.
turn, so
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you all done with your turn, Kai?
yeah, I'm not going to do anything else.
Alright.
I could bop it on the head.
Pat, could you just move your token so I can make sure I have it targeted?
Yeah.
Thanks.
You know,
Ex-
scoop enough of
excuse
the
me,
fuel.
Aldrich. I can
Bring
tell
the
you're
rat.
doing. I can tell you're doing something. Is there anything I can do to help?
I'm not completely sure. I've never done something like this before.
Kill the rat.
Well, first, I suppose I can try this. And I'm just gonna, while Kai has the rat grabbed, I'm gonna lean over and tap it on the head with one of my fingers and go, alright, my friends, get to work. And I am going to cast second level. Let's see if this works. Blindness. So I'm gonna try and blind the rat.
You blind the rat. And you just see as its eyes kind of glaze over and roll back into its head.
Good job, friends. Excellent job. You can grow those corneas back soon. He's not using them right now. All yours, Kai. And that's my turn.
Aldrich, the only remaining rat is in the hands of Kai right in front of you, and you can feel as the kind of like psychic struggle between you and the rats has weakened as the rest of the rats have perished. There's only this one left keeping you from consuming this connection.
So Aldrich like sees the connection and he's like focusing on the rat, and he uses half of his movement to get up from prone and steps over to the rat and tries to start feeding. So he's gonna vampiric bite,
All right.
like feeding on the connection itself between himself and the rat. So like his proboscis goes out and is like toward the rat and just consuming whatever tether there is.
Give me that bite
And-
attack.
God,
Yeah, and since I'm under half health, I get advantage. Why isn't this rolling?
Make sure that you have it targeted as well.
Right. I forgot that was a thing. Thank you.
the essence of the rat. Not the rat itself, but the psychic energy around the rat. He literally has, like, something protruding from him and is sucking.
Oh my.
Give that big suck, Aldrich. That is a thematic crit if I've ever seen one.
Right
And
into
then-
the exposed part of the brain.
Critically hits the swarm of cranium rats.
Oh, it's dead. Nice.
So, you all see as Aldrich kind of like summons this proboscis that just kind of like, you think he's about to attack the rat, and then he just kind of sticks it up into the air in front of him. And then you see after a few seconds as the glowing purple of the rat's brain kind of dulls, and you see the purple energy just get sucked out of its brain into the air and then up through the proboscis. And then the rat's brain kind of just shrivels up in your hands, Kai. Aldrich, you are now kind of almost assaulted with the feeling of, as you now feel the thoughts of all of these frogs and rats in the building, and you know that you don't have control over them yet, but you've made a tie to them. Like when you first made a tie to the crawl, you didn't control them at first, but you knew that they were like a part of your swarm. These now have a chance to become a part of your swarm. And with that, we can end the combat.
Nice.
That may have been the most interesting thing I've ever seen in a combat.
So and Aldrich is just taking in, and like his proboscis like retracts, and then he just takes a deep breath and just falls back on his butt again.
What are you talking about? You were prone that entire time.
No, he did say he spent half his movement to
Oh, I
stand up
missed
in
that,
that
my
last
bad.
one.
Maybe you want to
So I'm back on
move
again.
water
Yeah.
first.
I was gonna say, you are on the edge of that puddle if you would like to take a step forward before you fall back.
Oh yeah. So I'll say he falls forward then.
Okay.
And he rolls over like, is there anything else?
Well, you are out of combat. What would you all like to do?
If we could go explore a bit more. See what else is around in here.
Now, this isn't a slight against your chosen location for our safe house, Fox says with big hand quotes. But how do you expect these corpses to last if there's rats and frogs all around?
We could try putting them somewhere the rats can't reach.
Is this table actually like standing or is it knocked to the floor?
So it is on two legs, where the other two have kind of been like gnawed down to the point of breaking. So it's kind of at an angle where two legs are still intact and the other two, it's just on the ground.
Also, after like 6 seconds, I would shrink.
Alright. I'm not going to do anything else on Clara's behalf because she's not here.
He's dead.
With the exception of this, because she did bring it up at the end of last session, and I just want to make sure that it's not missed. Guys, now that the fighting's done, shouldn't we go figure out what that thing that started this all was?
Dang. Oh, you as I like lean up. Do you mean the big frog or which thing?
No, from the side room. The thing with the tentacles and the face.
Yeah, that.
We said we were gonna look into it, and then the frog started fighting.
Asher has communicated beyond the grave that we shouldn't touch the big frog until he's back. But I am
Alright.
down for some more murder.
As Aldrich like gets up and like kind of like limps along to where everyone else is going.
Fox is standing on top of his corpses with a firebolt at the ready, watching all the vermin in the room.
Alright, cut that frog up, Escher.
What's going on? What happened?
Nothing.
Uh,
We're literally just checking on the typical
Justin
thing
sucked
from
the rat. Sucked off
Did
the
Wait,
rat.
did Aldrich eat the rat?
Aldrich ate the
No.
rat's brain.
Oh, buddy. We use the whole animal.
I mean, it's still there.
I know, I have the blood splatter targeted currently. So did anything happen when he ate it?
From his
Um,
perspective, yes.
Anything the rest of us could notice?
Yeah,
So-
the other rat stopped glowing.
I feel like then at some point, after things have kind of settled down for a few seconds, Escher would kind of just look over to Aldrich, who has just eaten the psychic energy coming off this rat and out of its brain hole, and just kind of look him up and down and go, Aldrich, do you feel any different after that?
I don't know if it's me or something else. I just feel like from the first time I walked in, I felt the energy from all these other creatures, and I felt that they were a swarm, but now they feel closer to me than they were before. I don't know what that means, though.
And he'd probably be kind of up in your face at this point, kind of like looking at all, like kind of like investigating you and like making sure everything is still where it's supposed to be. And then you kind of come back around to your front, and his eyes would go wide and go, "Closer," you say. Go on, tell me more.
Yeah. I don't know how to describe it. Before they felt foreign, but now they kind of feel similar to how I feel with the crawl, with my own insects. But in a lighter way, not a deep connection. Something like a hint of a sense of a connection. You know?
And he kind of steps to the side and goes, and points over here to this little frog that's on the ground and goes, "That frog, can you feel it?"
Let me see. As he like tries to focus, like just similar to like how when he first was with the crawl and tries to feel it.
Yeah, so it takes you a few seconds. You know what? Actually, give me give me an Arcana check. Arcana or Perception. Okay, either way.
Oh, damn.
That's
He has
two
rolled
crits in a
twice, and they are both nat 20s. Yeah, so it takes you a second, but not nearly as long as when you first connected with the crawl, because you kind of remember that experience, and you're able to quickly isolate like this strand to this one. You have the connection to all of the frogs and rats in this room, but like you're able to pretty easily bring it down to just the one and focus on the bond with that.
Yeah, Escher, I do feel it. I feel it.
Aldrich, can you
As he like,
make it jump?
as Aldrich tries to attempt it, and he just pictures like the frog jumping in his head.
And it jumps.
And when that happens, Escher just fully jumps off the ground, arms up in the air, and goes, Eureka! I was right! I was right! And he runs over and he throws his arms around Aldrich and goes, You did it! And he's
Yeah.
like laughing
did.
hysterically.
And Aldrich is like kind of off put by how excited he is. I'm like, yeah, I did. I guess.
Aldrich, don't you understand what this means? I was right about you! All the
You want to-
research, all of the papers, everything I had to go through to make sure you got out of that place. I was right!
Right about what?
You!
I don't understand. what
Whatever
you mean.
powers you have, whatever the Simic gave you, it works! You hijacked the psychic... whatever it is that was holding these swarms of creatures together. Don't you know what that means?
Pretend that I didn't.
You're like me. We can fix it. If you can do it once, you can do it again. You're the key.
As Aldrich is like putting two and two together, like, are you talking about the virus?
Yes!
Oh,
The virus, I believe it is arcane in nature. There was a latent psychic connection that it relies on with its hosts. It's how it forms almost an intelligence and how it adapts so quickly. And with you, we might be able to attack it using that.
I'm trying my best.
Aldrich, don't you
you do
understand?
believe
You're
in
like
me,
a...
right?
If we hone these skills right, you could be like a psychic vaccine for it.
Oh, I
There's-
don't know about that. That sounds a little experimental.
Yeah, we should stay away from that.
Yes, that's the best part.
Be safe.
I mean, I know there's plenty of people out there, plenty of poor people that this virus is gonna affect. A lot of guildless too. So, if you think I could help them in any way, sure, I'll go ahead and do my best.
Oh, yes, given enough time, the virus will surely affect everybody. The fate of Ravnica itself is on the line. But not anymore! My friend, we can do it! Oh, this is wonderful news. I'm sorry. No pressure on you. For now, you relax. Maybe you focus on, the frogs, the rats. Keep practicing. Let's see what we can do with this. Oh, what a marvelous start. Just marvelous, as he kind of, like, wanders off rambling to himself.
You can have my foot.
Alright.
Zach, because I know we like went up here a smidge before, right? Is it dark in there?
Well, the door.
I
is
think the
closed.
door is closed.
Yeah, but we were in there previously.
Yeah, so the light is coming from the main room, but like there's enough that you can see throughout. There's like it is daytime. There is enough natural light coming through even the small windows and like the open front door that like I mean, it's not like there's a fluorescent light bulb in each room, but you can see, no problem.
Gotcha.
But go ahead.
I was gonna say, to Aldrich, as Escher just goes rambling away towards the frog, I just go, I don't really understand what you just did, but it seems like it was good. And then I'm gonna like motion as if to like. Actually, I don't think I need to touch him to do this. And I'm just gonna like hold a hand out towards Aldrich, and give him my vigilant blessing. So, Aldrich, you have advantage on initiative in the next fight.
Oh wow.
All right. And Aldrich, I'm pretty sure Aldrich is, oh boy, Tavro's
did I
breathing
grow?
again.
Wait, how do I make it small? I don't know. I did.
What did you do?
Wait,
Come one with me.
Tavro, did you somehow target Aldrich and then do the macro?
No, I didn't. No.
How do I
He doesn't
become
have any
big?
effects on him.
There you go. I'll put you back. But, Aldrich, I'm pretty sure that with a passive perception of 20, you have the highest passive perception. So, you hear, like, as kind of this conversation is wrapping up, you hear a creaking coming from the backmost room where the rats originated from.
As Aldrich like puts a hand out toward Gideon and kind of like, wait, there's something else here. There's something in the back room.
When Aldrich says that, Gideon draws his sword and kind of like looks around, kind of with like his eyes darting everywhere, looking for what he thinks Aldrich sees.
It's behind the door in the back room. I'm really careful going in. As Aldrich also like draws his blade.
And as Aldrich brings everybody's attention towards it, you see as, like, you all can kind of focus on this back door, and you hear kind of a creak, and you see as the doorknob turns, and then the door opens, and you see a large toad-like being.
Oh.
And it
Uh,
very, like, it opens the door, very calmly raises an arm and points at Aldrich and goes, "Swarm Keeper, your audience is requested."
Oh, they speak.
Well, Aldrich, go in there.
Yeah, I just like is out from in front of him and goes, I think this is the you thing.
As Aldrich is like still like partly dissolved, like and looking around like, guys, come on, I'm barely hanging on here.
Alright, how about this? I'll walk in
Huh?
with you.
wait. Hey, whoa, what's going on? I need him. What's happening?
The Elder seeks an audience with the Swarm Keeper.
Escher kind of peeks around the door and goes, oh.
Guys, Aldrich is like, could someone kind of come with me as he starts slowly walking forward?
I'll go with you.
Oh, thank you, Fox.
Your friends may join, but the Elder needs only you.
Oh, what did you say, Fox?
Can you please take the vermin with you?
As like Aldrich tries to focus on like the rats and the toads to follow from behind.
And after a few seconds, they all kind of stir and just begin walking slowly towards you.
Oh.
Okay, and like Aldrich waits for them and tries to like walk in sync with them, like trying to like build a better bond by being closer to them. Blah blah blah. Similar to how his normal swarm is always with him.
And he looks at like all of these things following you and he goes, "Good. The Elder was correct. And then you see as he just kind of turns back as he sees you following him, he steps in over to like this sewer grate, which you now see is hanging open. And you see as he just puts a finger down onto the like puddle that is surrounding him and sucks up the puddle into his body, leaving the path clear for you, and then he pops down into the sewer grate.
Oh. As Aldrich looks behind, like, I'm not sure if you guys want to follow, but it would be nice not to be going alone.
Is everybody
Well,
joining?
Oh, absolutely. I'm right
I
behind
will.
him. I'm not letting him out of my sight.
That's what I figured. Let me just move you all in so I can copy paste all the tokens at once, making my life a lot easier.
It wouldn't be the first time I've gone down into one of these.
You really want to know the answer to that question?
Yeah, and go down to the
We've
door
had
grate.
Oh,
we've had mushrooms fight on our behalf. We've helped lobsters transform into fucking octopus things. Now we have a talking frog telling us to go into the sewers.
and
Zach, are these like boxes?
I think they're tables.
those are like crates in the room that... Oh, wait. Sorry, I'm on the wrong thing. Those are 2 chests.
We could possibly put the bodies in here, Fox.
You do note both of them have locks on them, and unlike almost everything in this house, they seem fairly undisturbed. The chests have not been broken, and the locks are still intact.
Oh. I may have spoke too soon.
I mean,
Oh wait,
You can locked.
real quick, as Sheriff is following Aldrich, I would actually run up to him and go, if we're going to the sewers, this might be handy. And I want to, hold on, sorry, hold on. I just want to read if I had to touch you or something. Oh, okay, I just have to be within 10 feet of you. And similar to like what I did with Aldrich, I'm gonna like put like a hand out, and my eyes kind of gloss over for a second, and I share my my dark vision with you.
Oh,
Aha.
thank you.
And I just
You do
go,
that.
last for an hour. I think I'm new to this.
that
Huh,
will
you saved me the
actually
trouble.
be quite useful for the next area, because it is the sewers. They don't have lights on.
Yeah, I figured Fox, you could do that.
I mean, also, yeah, so let me bring you all into the next scene as you follow the frog boy down the sewer.
He do be frogging dough.
Okay, yeah, let me, light picker, light cantrip. You should be giving out light now, Connor.
Thank you.
Give me dark vision.
You have dark vision.
Okay, cool.
It's just, you're also seeing through Fox's light, which takes priority.
Ah, okay. No, Justin, you go in front of me. Yeah.
And he just, this thing just starts leading you down through these sewer passages. And as there's like these little like on the sides he's just wading through the water, but on the sides there are platforms that you can walk along. And
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to close that.
as he brings you into this kind of like larger room where a bunch of sewer tunnels lead out from, you could all see this strange gaping ooze made of like various. It almost looks like a congealment of bodies and faces in this ooze. And as you all come in, it like solidifies into a woman who turns over and looks over and goes, "What is the meaning of this?" And then the frog goes, "The elder has requested his presence. He is a proper swarm keeper." But you all see this.
Oh,
So like that is the
curse my
ooze.
DM's knowledge.
Yeah, that is the ooze, and it kind of forms into this woman who is still trailing behind this like bulbous ooze of faces and heads.
She's so pretty.
But
Aldrich, we finally found a woman for you.
as the frog speaks to it, she kind of just like looks, nods her head, and the frog continues down into the next sewer passageway.
As like Aldrich is walking around on the side, like, guys, stay close.
Oh wait. Oh, I forgot I can manually close this. Well, this is certainly unusual, but I'll have to note this later.
Like making sure that no one's left behind in the room with the woman.
I'm just gonna assume that Kai and Gideon, and I know Clara's following because I'm controlling her, but
Yeah, I can't really see too well where things are going, so.
Oh, fuck!
I'm just gonna move you all into the room.
Fuck!
Oh.
You might want to back them up a little bit.
Backing up.
I don't think any of them should be in here before him.
That's also fair.
Sorry, Zach. I still had the ooze up. I didn't realize we were moving.
Yeah, no worries. But he leads you in, and you see as you walk into this room, and there is another one of these, like, kind of oozes made out of faces that is congealed, and where the other one kind of became a person, this one forms a person, but the ooze still, like, grows out behind them. And I think that should have just popped up for you for the full art now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the
stressing.
frog just falls to a knee and goes, "I have brought them." And you see... Oh, go ahead.
No. I was just gonna say, Aldrich just like looks over and sees them, like, I guess I'm doing that too, and like also kneels.
And this thing, you see as, even though it was like kind of formed into this person at the head, its face was almost unfocused and like was returning to an ooze state. But as you walk in, it focuses and sharpens up its features and then looks over to you, Aldrich, and goes, "Ah, you are the one I sensed above. You may call me the Elder. And what is your name?"
My name is Aldrich. It's a pleasure to meet you, Elder. As Aldrich is like still kneeling down, not suffering, having trouble making eye contact.
Do I sense it correctly that you subjugated the swarm above? The Sladi are now under your control?
As Aldrich looks back and like seeing if the swarm of rats and frogs are still falling behind him, like
They
yeah.
did.
Yeah, I'm not sure who the Sladia are, but yeah, it looks like I did.
Aldrich, do you know what this means? 2 bitches!
Aldrich went from swarm keeper to ooze fucker.
Oh gosh.
But she goes,
Unless.
in that case, you and I might be able to help each other quite a bit. I am what is known as an ooblex. I am a swarm keeper of sorts myself. Judging by the look of you, one with far more experience. But as I am made, not born, there's a limit to what my growth can handle. Once the Slotty evolve past their green counterparts, they wrest control from me, wreaking havoc such as in my workshop above. But you could be useful.
Wait, was the area that we came from where all the frogs and rats, that was your workshop?
It was. Until the green Slotty wrested control and warped with one of those cross-eye. There's an extent to my growth, but less so to my knowledge. You and I can help each other. You can grow, I can direct you. We will make things better once again. I will teach you how to learn, adapt, grow your swarm. In exchange, you will help me with my experiments.
As Escher not Escher, as Aldrich looks back at Escher and he's like, oh,
He stops writing and looks up and goes, huh?
like,
Yeah, and then he kind of makes that like a circular motion with her hand and a keep her talking.
what kind of experiments are you doing? Were you making like the cranium rats or the big slod from before?
The rats are a byproduct of an older experiment. The Slotty are my current goal. And she goes, I have been able to subjugate up to the red variety, but when they evolve to green, that is when I can no longer control them. If you control my experiments, when I no longer can, I will teach you the art of the swarm keeping.
All this time, I thought it was the Simic that made those experiments.
Yes,
Well, I mean-
in a way they did, considering that the Simic made me. But I have grown past their experimentation, and have evolved to experiments of my own.
If he can control the things that you can't, wouldn't he be teaching you how to do it?
There's a difference between power, strength, and control. I have the knowledge of control. I have the knowledge of how to apply this. He has strength that surpasses what I can control. Together, we can make good work. Hence my proposal.
Question. Question about detect thoughts. Do they,
Mhm.
if I don't dive deeper, do they know if I'm detecting thoughts? If it's just the surface level thoughts?
I believe you can always do the surface level thoughts. Let me check.
From what I remember, you can always detect surface level thoughts, and then you can probe deeper with a wisdom saving throw.
Yeah, so
Is
for
that
the
gonna be
duration, you can
before-
read the thoughts of certain creatures. When you cast a spell as your action, you can focus your mind on any one creature you can see. this thing speaks languages and has an intelligence of 3 or greater, so it would be a valid target. Yeah, so you automatically get to know the surface thoughts of the creature. It is a verbal, somatic, and material component spell, so it would be pretty obvious that you're casting something, but it may or may not know that it's detect thoughts. The second you try to probe deeper, it is aware that you are trying to read its thoughts.
Okay, so just because I'm right in front of it, I don't think I'm gonna do the verbal and somatic.
Yeah. I will also note just one thing that your character would probably put together. Ever since these experiments were done on you, every time someone around you is using a thought detection magic, you can see it. And she is claiming to be the same type of experiment that you are, just in a different form.
Yes, okay.
So even if normally you wouldn't be able to, like, you know that you would be able to see it just because of what you've become. If she is saying that she's the same thing, there's a good chance that she would also be able to tell from the start.
Right. And like, okay, and I'm gonna go up to Escher. Like, Escher, do you recall the Simic ever doing experiments on like these swarm obliques or whatever, these slimes?
Fuck, I don't think I would know about that.
You can give me a, I guess, like, history check.
Not Arcana?
Arcana would be more of understanding the magic behind it. If you want to know what the Simic was doing for these experiments, that would be like knowledge of the history of it.
Alright, I'll give it a shot. I'm still decent at that, so...
No, you
You know what? It doesn't matter which one you were rolling, and that one's not going to get it for you. You have never heard of an Oblex before, let alone know what experiment this is.
No, I didn't think I ever would. This wasn't my field. I figured I needed like a 20 or something to at least have a chance, but... this is a little bit out of my field of study, though I've heard rumors of psychic organisms being created by the Simic. I just didn't think they would be that.
Okay. As Aldrich looks back at the woman, he's like, before I do make heads or tails on of a decision on your offer, I just need to talk to my friends here as I go back to everyone else, like, and try to like huddle with them.
Aldrich.
Yes, Fox.
I'm Tavro.
Oh, Tavro. I thought that was Fox for a second.
Yes, Aldrich.
Aldrich.
Yes.
You could get blowjobs from all the different faces.
Hold on. I need to see if I know silence. Give me a second.
Alright, I will stop.
Oh, I know how to do that. It's just punch Tavro in the face.
Can you reach up? Tavro is
Alright,
long.
do you think he can do 61 damage in a single strike?
It's not out of the realm of possibility.
Yes, it is.
I could give you seizures.
Aldrich.
Please don't.
Yes.
I shared my dark vision with you. Please respond.
We were looking for a safe place to hang. I think if we're in the good graces of this hive mind, we could have all the safety we would need, at least if you're able to convince it to let us hang out.
That is true. Okay, that is a good point. We were looking for a safe place.
If you are to be my apprentice, my workshop is your workshop.
I didn't realize it could hear us. Oh.
I mean, I guess she's kind of psychic too, so it would make sense. Like, we're also like 10 feet away from her.
Oh god, I hope she's not reading my mind right now.
I will note,
Topper's mine. Don't read Topper's mine.
I will note, you do not see any of the psychic strands of detect thoughts. She's
Okay.
just only a few feet away from you. One thing to note, though, like, she has been speaking very kind of lowly this whole time, but it sounds like the voice is echoing throughout the chamber, almost as if it is coming, like, the voice is originating from everywhere.
Oh,
Interesting. So it's almost like an echo chamber, you mean?
None of your voices are doing the same thing.
This thing is in all of the water in here. That creature we saw before is probably a part of it. It's spreading.
I think it is actually talking from all around us.
Oh.
Yeah.
Isn't that
Aldrich,
Yeah.
yeah.
before you make your decision, if I may, with your permission, I'd like to speak with the whatever it is.
Of course, yeah. Go ahead.
Hello. You said your name was Ublex?
You may call me the Elder. I am an Ublex.
Yes. Okay. Let me. He changes. You can see he like pulls out a book, scratches a couple things out, makes a couple of corrections. I don't suppose you know how to spell that, do you? Never mind.
ELDER.
I think you forgot a. Never mind. My name is Azure Hagarius. I have experience with the Simic, and I wish to represent Aldrich for now in these decisions while he considers your options. I figured, since we are closely associated, I have his best interest in mind, so I would like to discuss the terms of your agreement with you.
And you see, as soon as you say your name is Escher, her face kind of does the same thing that it was when you first entered the room, where it was almost like the face was just part of the ooze and not really defined. Just for a few seconds, and then it comes back and it goes, "Ah, yes, Escher. We have used your research. You would be most valuable as well. Unfortunately,
Yes, I get that a lot.
the experiment based upon you upstairs was the first of our viral issues. We have halted any further experiments based on viral mind control until more stability has been reached."
That actually is what I wish to inquire about. The Simic have been researching a viral vector that has been spreading throughout Ravnica with some rather exquisite side effects. It's arcane, psionic in nature. Do you know anything about that?
And you see as the face kind of like goes back to the red ooze for a few seconds again and goes, "Yes, our previous master was related to the labs that was developing the original bacterium mutation."
Escher closes notebook, puts in bag, pulls out second one, flips open to a fresh page, pulls out a piece of charcoal and goes, "Go on then. Anything you know about it would be a great help, and in return I can share what I have learned with you."
Your research was valuable for creating a sentient bacterial colony. It allows for viral-like infection even past death, while still maintaining the life and sentience of the colony. It was proved ultimately useless for anything other than medical practices at first. Then, the Demir discovered a way that it might be useful to them. So, they have since modified and released your virus onto the world. That is the version that you currently refer to, if my records are correct.
Did you say the Demir?
Yes, I did.
The Demir stole my work.
The
What's
Dimir
the
expanded
Dimir?
upon your work. With the help of the
well,
rest of your friends.
Where I come from, we call that thievery, but nonetheless, that is information I did not have. May I ask how you got it?
I am a result of such experimentation.
And I just kind of like look at myself and go, as am I, but I didn't gain that knowledge.
You are the result of your experiments. I was given increased knowledge during testing by the Dimir. They did not realize I had as much sentience as I did. It made it very easy to escape. Similar to you, Aldrich. I will say, I did not expect my former neighbor to be coming back to me so soon.
Former neighbor? Wait. Were you in the Simic labs with me?
In a way. The part of me that I had to leave there is still there. Was for your internment. The bulk of me that you see now escaped quite a bit longer ago. But, as you will learn about swarms, we can still communicate across long distances with other forms of ourselves.
Also,
By the way...
Zach, I have a question for Zach, like DM.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Is this the first evidence I've had that, like, the Dimir might be real?
Well, your party has all said that they're Dimir, and you were also brought in by a Dimir handler.
Yeah, but I wasn't I guess I kind of wasn't 100% sold on that. I kind of thought they might just be lying to cover themselves.
It is completely up to you whether or not you've believed that when they told you they were Dimir previously, but you have been told about the Dimir previously.
Okay. Yeah, you say whatever you were gonna say now. I have to consider my next words carefully.
And like Aldrich was like processes this in his head, like, wait, does that mean that the mayor is the one that, or like, told the Simic to do these experiments and blah blah blah?
The Dimir are behind much of the recent events in Ravnica. The Dimir are behind much of the events in Ravnica's history.
Elder?
Yes?
You were never human, were you?
No, I was created from one of your bacteria colonies, given far more sentience and mutation than what you've provided. But
I beg to differ, we get along quite well. And
I have been
looks up to the air and
grown.
goes, she didn't mean it. Yo, you're fine. It's okay. Relax. If that is the case, whose face do you wear right now?
I wear the face of the Simic biomancer who first gave me sentience. She let me feed off her memories to provide it. Thus, it is the most natural form for me to take when focusing myself.
I thought you looked familiar. Oh, what was her name? It's been years since I talked to her. You're the sentient slime. Help me out here.
Ferrith.
Ferrith! Wait, did you kill Ferrith?
No. Ferrith was killed in an unfortunate accident.
Was that because of you?
I do not know why the Dimir chose to cause that accident. It does not concern me. I was given enough sentience and memories to move forward before that happened. Unfortunately, I was not quite at the point of being granted emotions. So I am still working on such a concept.
Thurg was intelligent, ahead of her time.
He's like, that wasn't us, was it?
If you've chosen to take the form of...
May I butt in a moment?
he kind of like looks to you and like dead serious and is like, I have an idea.
If I may just ask a question, Venerable Elder, where was the lab you were made and located?
You and the rest of your group, minus the Minotaur, should be intimately familiar. You are the ones who provided the rest of the ingredients for the plague to be released, after all.
They what?
Turns around and like goes wide-eyed at everyone.
Well,
Jerry.
Yes, it was Jerry. That's right. Jerry tricked us into it.
That reminds me, Clara, Jerry would like to inform you of his new promotion as head of Simic Lab 13. He said that you have inspired him, and he will be supporting you soon.
What? What's a
Wait,
Jerry?
Wait, Jerry, they know he's intelligent now?
Jerry is the only remaining living organism of Lab 13.
Oh. Oh.
And this whole time I thought the goblin made that up.
So I just look at Answer for a second and go, same.
Zach,
Yes, Fox?
so remember when we were taught encode thought?
Yes.
Am I able to teach Escher encode thought, seeing as he can cast
I know it.
as well? Oh, you
I know
do?
it. Yes.
I don't.
You can teach it to Aldrich if you would like.
I'm gonna teach Aldrich encode thoughts. I would like to flavor it that I'm like extracting the images of this lab from my memory and teaching him by showing it and being like, "Is this the lab you are from?"
Yeah, so you extract the memories, and you kind of do it in two bursts. You do the first, you extract the knowledge of how to cast and understand the spell and feed it to Aldrich. And Aldrich, you learn the spell Encode Thoughts. And then you pull out this stream of memories of the lab. And Aldrich, you are able to see these memories if you would like.
Okay, I would like to see these memories as I slurp them up like spaghetti.
It is the same lab that you awoken. You actually
yeah,
see
this-
vaguely in the memories, only a glance, but you see a glimpse of yourself in the capsule while they are there.
Wait. Yeah, that's me. Wait, you guys were at the lab I was in. You saw me.
I imagine right now Clara would be absolutely losing her mind. So,
Yeah, no, Clara is just freaking out in the corner, but I'm not gonna roleplay that for
I
her,
would
so...
try to just take her away from the crowd for a second and be like, and just try to console her.
Yeah, that's the lab.
Oh, I forgot about your memory thing. I thought we knew that. I thought you. Did I not share that with you? That we knew that Aldrich came from the lab where it was created? Wait. Why do you have memories of it?
Escher. And I'm just gonna, like, pull out the memory again, and I'm just gonna shove it into his head of us being in the lab.
Fox,
I
you're not
have that
supposed to have
too.
memories of that. And I turn to face the giant slime creature and I go, I'm terribly sorry. We probably haven't shared enough information between ourselves, but before the Demir that you were working with.
I did not
Have
work with
they
the Demir. I was created by the Demir. I have no
Have they
affiliations with the
infiltrated
guild. The Demir have infiltrated every guild. That is what the Demir do. I am not aware of
Have you
all Demir agents. In fact, I am aware of only a smaller amount, but I have been able to decode some of their secret writings and understand that they have at least a few agents in each guild.
How many agents are you familiar with?
A small number of their agents, maybe 12, 13. That is
Are you
including
familiar
those in
with the
this
ones-
group, of course.
Are you familiar with the ones that created you? The ones responsible for the plague?
Yes, those have been partially eliminated by Jerry. The rest stand in this room.
Oh. What?
Huh.
What do you mean eliminated?
The Myconid Jerry has gained increased sentience and evolved. He has taken over Simic Lab 13. There are no other living non-test organisms in Simic Lab 13.
How have the Simic allowed this?
I do not know. I am not privy to that information.
Everybody responsible is dead.
Or
Those
here.
who were actively working in the lab have either been slain or reduced to experiments.
That's
Scary.
not what I expected to hear. This Jerry, is it a part of you?
Me? No. Jerry is its own entity. Jerry describes himself as the best friend of Clara Phillips.
Do you know what it plans on, what its goals are?
All I've heard from the piece of me that is still there is Jerry saying that he will do what he does to help Clara Phillips.
Everything he does is for Clark.
What piece of you is still there, if I may ask?
I was a swarm entity initially created as an experiment there. They did not understand how I grew and proliferated. They believe that I am still a low-level experiment, trapped in a capsule there. I left a part of me so that they would think that. It was quite easy for the rest of me to leave and proliferate out here.
You seem like an entity of higher intelligence than most. Do you truly believe all of the Demir responsible for the outbreak of the plague were restricted to that lab?
Certainly not. As I've said multiple times, many are standing in this room.
They don't count. They're... And he kind of looks over his shoulder. They're nothing more but couriers. They were a group of rat catchers that the Demir have used for. Members of other guilds primarily. They weren't directly responsible. Whatever happened with the plague, they didn't know about it. But if the rumors of the Demir are true, the plan to release the plague and grow it and most likely create you came from beyond Lab 13. Do you have any inkling of where?
There are many Demir agents that I am not aware of. One of the few that I do know that was related to this instance was named Elix. He was the go-between for Lab 13's Simic scientists and the Demir. He has abandoned the Undercity, but he has also left my reach of influence. I do not know
So he's
where he has
alive.
gone. He was alive
But
when
he-
I last saw him.
And Asher turns to Fox, and who's probably like standing next to him, and he goes, "Do you know this Elix?"
Yes.
Wait, really?
We have met on occasion.
When?
About 3 weeks ago.
then I think we need to find him.
That. Did he die? Forget.
I don't think so. From the sounds of it, it doesn't sound like it.
You are not aware of him dying.
Okay.
Whether or not he has, you don't know, but you have not been informed of his death.
It'll take some time, but I could try to contact him.
Alright. That's a start, I suppose. Thank you, Elder. That has been beneficial, and perhaps you have more knowledge that we can share, but I feel I will find something to give you in return. But before that, there's a second matter that needs to be addressed.
And that would be?
Your plans for Aldrich. I need him too.
I am not taking him from you. I simply wish for him to become my apprentice. I can teach him the knowledge that I am aware of, but don't have the power to control. He can control the experiments and implement that knowledge in a way that I can't. It will be a mutually beneficial experience.
I was thinking through. I think I should do this. And then
You say mutually beneficial, but I know what mutually beneficial means to entities like you. My relationship with my own is also mutually beneficial, with the side effect that if either of us leave each other, we both die. I need the guarantee that that will not happen to Aldrich. I need him alive, intact, and not a part of you.
I do not have the power to subjugate a separate swarm keeper. If I did, we would not be having this conversation. I have no intentions to subjugate Aldrich as one of my own, as I feel like it would be more beneficial to all if he could grow as his own entity.
God damn, I don't think I have any way to insight check a sentient booger.
If you would like assurance,
that
the
gives
first
great
thing...
sloppy toppy.
God damn it, Brian.
I'm sorry.
If you would like further assurance, the first thing I can teach him would be long-distance communication through a swarm. He can leave a piece of his swarm with you, and you can be in contact with him when needed.
I want you to leave a piece of yours with me, not his.
We'll take
And-
some of him too.
And it just goes, I am all around. Take a handful.
That's not what I mean. I'm going to regret this. And Escher reaches into his satchel and he pulls out his dagger and goes, "Oh, I hate this part," and jams it into his hand and carves open his palm, and as the yellowy greenish liquid starts to kind of seep out and goes, "Ah! A piece of your whatever you are."
And you see as right in front of you, some of the water just kind of rises up and is almost like a little pedestal, and on it is just a few drops of what looks to be like a congealed red ooze.
Escher kind of looks to it and goes, and he sticks out his now bloody seeping green hand towards the humanoid figure and goes, "Shake on it?"
And the few drops of red kind of shoot up into the green brackish liquid on your hand, and in your head you hear, and now we can be in communication. You have no reason to no longer to distrust me.
Oh, yeah, oh, that's unpleasant. Oh, that's a new one. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. All right. Oh, I'm going to regret every second of that. Oh, God. Thank you for your generosity. And you his just whole body shudders. As long as Aldrich will be intact, I have no obligation with him doing whatever it is you plan on doing with him, but the decision remains with him. Aldrich, whatever you think is the wisest choice.
I think I'm gonna accept it. As he pats Fox on the back, but I'm not very good at this negotiation stuff. How about I accept on the counts of the safety of the party, my own safety, that we're able to use your lab and other areas as we see fit. What else would we want as I look toward the party and Fox?
In the interest of honesty, and because I have no sense of bargaining skills, your sense of bargaining skills are quite weak. You are already guaranteed all of what you have listed.
Escher kneels on the ground, retches into the water, wipes his mouth, looks up and goes, "She means it. I can feel that."
Please do not vomit into me again. That was unpleasant.
You're in my brain. It makes me nauseous. I'm sorry. Getting used to this.
How comprehensive is your knowledge of the sewers?
Beyond my extent here, where my body resides, you will see a slot at each exit. That is where my influence ends. At least for now.
Are you able to project parts of yourself throughout the sewers?
I can do some rudimentary scouting.
We are in need of entrance to a location. An entrance that is guarded. However, if a path through the sewers were to open to us, we would be ever so grateful. If you could agree to scout out some of these areas while we rest upstairs in order to determine if this is a possibility for us, then I am willing to allow you to take Aldrich from us for the time being, since that would be replacing the skills that he provides to our party.
I must add a caveat before I agree. The furthest I can scout with my current form is 1 mile. I cannot go beyond that in any direction, otherwise I will be spread too thin. If the location you seek is within 1 mile of here, I will scout it for you when you request.
Where are we?
Otherwise, I can send a slod to scout, but there's risks associated with that, as they are not as subtle as a drop of ooze floating through the sewer water, considering that they are 8.5 feet tall, bright red, and also frogs.
I mean, we travel with that, pointing to Tavro.
My understanding is that minotaurs are an accepted part of Ravnican society. Has that changed since I've gained my sentience?
How far away are we from Rakdos?
You know what? That's a great question. Give me 1 second.
We just need a plus or minus 1 mile.
Actually, you would be within a mile of the Gore House, which you know is at least the beginning of the entrance to Rixmati.
That works.
Yeah.
I'll tell it, like, we need access to Rixmati. I know the Gore House is nearby, but if we could find a way past that and actually into the stronghold itself, then we would be forever in your debt. Oh, it's not writing. Shut the fuck up.
Understood. I will commence scouting once our agreement is complete.
I think is that all we wanted? Guys, as I look toward everyone else.
Tavro's gonna grab his jaw and lift it up, since it was on the floor this whole fucking conversation. And I just go,
Are you the puddles upstairs?
Those are remnants of my lack of control when something else took over. Now that Aldrich has taken over the subset of the Slotty Swarm, I should be able to reabsorb those. I believe Bandar Hob has already taken one of them for me back.
So that'd be much appreciated if we were to spend much time up there.
Yes, and thank you for that, vendor Hob.
And he just kind of like looks at you and goes, "As the Elder commands."
Oh
you're
God.
pretty.
Oh. And I
Alright.
suppose part of this agreement is that I assume you don't wish for the Simic to know you're here, correct?
That would be appreciated. I would like to stipulate that you are not to tell others outside of this group that my presence here, well, anything about it. Considering you plan to use my workshop as a safe house, it would probably be best for you to not tell anybody anyway.
I can't even bring one of the slad back.
And
It's like Aldrich picks up one of the frogs and like, you want one of these?
There's a bigger one upstairs I was kind of interested in.
Oh, the largest one.
if my apprentice does not desire the body, you are welcome to it. Just don't say where you got it from. Or lie.
Sure, that might be a bit difficult to transport with, you know, the martial law and everything.
I got this.
Yes, but successful proof of the creation of an organism like that, credited to myself, could net me quite a research grant with the Simic that could potentially fund future operations on behalf of all of Ravnica. Namely, our own.
Well, then
And-
are we finished?
And all Asher would kind of just look to Fox and goes, and yes, that means with the corpses, we could lie to the Simic and get money from them. Maybe.
Money?
It's something worth discussing later.
Indeed.
Are we in agreement then?
But yeah, as I walk up and just like extend my hand out.
Welcome, apprentice. We will begin your tutelage as soon as I finish scouting as part of our agreement.
Aldrich, I know you said want to ask about the tentacle thing, and seeing Ezra's response, I would totally see it in characters. Like, hey, can we talk about the tentacle thing? What tentacle thing? These, and just holds up his own tentacle now.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
What's the doll gaunt?
Oh, yes, that is the experiment based off of Escher's research that we have abandoned. The control was problematic, and it warped things improperly if they did not have the willpower to command it.
Huh.
You may wish to study that more than the Slotty, considering if you ever lose control of your bacterium colony, that is likely what you'll become.
I'm not worried about that. We're on pretty good terms right now. Symbiosis can't survive without each other, that type of thing. Like
Wait,
you said,
question.
mutually beneficial.
Question, I forget. Was Aldrich in the room when that thing was killed?
Yeah, you were in its mouth.
No,
not-
the tentacle boy.
Oh, never mind. I'm sorry. I'm stupid.
Possibly. I honestly don't know.
Because I don't know. I don't remember if it was Aldrich's passive possession that picked this up or not. The when the thing was killed, and Clara walked over it, like the blood from the thing tried to reach up into her leg and go into her or something like that. But
Yes,
she
it
just
did.
brushed it off.
She succeeded on her reflex dexterity saving throw. Pathfinder got me thinking in terms.
So like, if Aldrich, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. That was all I
I was
had to
gonna
say.
say, like, if Aldrich did see that, then he probably would have warned Escher about that. Like, it's still active even with the thing dead.
I know, that's why that one I have to destroy.
Oh, by the way,
That
do you
won't-
have any skeletons?
Yeah, I just keep them carried around in my bag.
Oh, mine
Excuse
are
me?
in the closet.
I'm sorry, you wish for skeletons?
Yes.
There are some body parts we've been using for experimentation.
Would you mind if I peruse them?
Why does everybody want to keep bringing dead bodies with us?
And
Fuck, we already have a lot.
you see it similar with Escher, like the water in front of you kind of just rises up, almost like a little torrent, and then just rising up through them, you see like a few finger bones, followed by just like a stream of maybe like 3 or 4 corpses worth of bones.
Is it Boline and
Random plague victim, dude.
oh, never mind.
As you know, I'm just standing there with the 2 corpses. I'll just be like, perhaps I'll come back to that at a later time. Thank you.
Very well.
I believe we are finished, yes?
Maybe.
Well,
We can always come back down here if we need be.
yes, I believe now we wait to find if we can get into Rick's body, I think.
Upstairs.
If you need rest, now may be a good time for you to do so as I scout. When you awake, I will report, and then Aldrich will be my apprentice.
Oh, wonderful. Kai just faints on the spot and falls to the floor.
Into the water. Upstairs.
Actually, this is
And-
probably the healthiest I've ever been after a fight.
Honestly, yeah. What's your HP at?
49.
How?
Oh my god.
Yeah,
I
I'm
didn't
fine.
get hit. The frog kept going after Aldrich.
I gained more health than I lost.
Nice.
Time to go there.
Yeah.
Alright. I know that
I
we
think
usually
as a
try and
group-
cut off right around 9:30 Eastern, so is there any and I'm also fine to keep going, but I know that like people have to drive home and stuff, so are there any last few things before we call it? Because you all going into a long rest is probably a pretty good place to call
I
the
mean-
session.
Yeah.
When we go, I was
Something
gonna
I
say
want
when we go back upstairs, there's probably a few things that I'd want to discuss as a group.
Sure.
Bring us upstairs. Bring us upstairs.
For starters, did any of the lot of you know the Demir were responsible for this?
No.
We were told. Okay. So, Kai's gonna be completely honest about this. Yeah, we were recruited for what we were told was research into a magical illness. We were not told what the illness was, or what it was actually that we were gathering ingredients for. The less we knew about it, the better. I think we know why.
Yes, it turns out that it was a plague.
But I don't blame any of you personally for this. I'm more at fault than any of you possibly could be. I'm more concerned with the fact that the Demir used you all to influence these events and create this pandemic, but are now using you to stop it. Their goals are what I question.
very fair to question the Demir.
And
There's
Fox
also
mentioned
there's also the possibility that the Demir were recruited to gather these ingredients for the Golgari, specifically because, where was I going with that sentence? The Demir were recruited by the Golgari, but the Demir might not have actually known what they were doing. They were just given a lot of money to do it.
if everything that you and everyone else has said about the Demir is true, I find it hard to believe that they didn't know what they were doing. Not to mention, I've known many a Golgari before. I've learned a lot from them. This plague, it's not their way. Connor, what are you doing? You were pinging. But Fox had mentioned there was a member of the Demir that you all knew and spoke to that might still be alive, that might provide more answers than we have now. I know the Rakdos issue is imperative at the moment, but I think it would benefit all of us to learn a little bit more about the people that you all claim to be working for. They've been holding you all by the leash for quite some time. Don't you wish to know why?
Fox has been ferrying bodies and looking over the place this whole time, like sort of like half listens in and says, "Yes, yes, I can prepare the message spell after we take a rest."
Wait. Message spell? What do you mean?
Oh yes, sending.
Fox, put the corpses down. Come here. Are you sure we want to let this figure know that we're looking for them?
Well, that is one thing to go on, or the other is just simply walk into what the Demir wants us to do and see what we can learn.
I suppose that is a start.
Alternatively, we can try to contact Jerry, but again, I'd be limited by, well, preparing the spell and the limited use of words it gives.
I'm not sure how to act on it. I just want to make sure we're all clear that finding this Enoch is a high priority right now for all of us. They may be able to provide the answers that we all need regarding our purpose here.
Yeah, sure.
Hey.
I can think of two possible answers to some of your questions. For one, it's possible that, well, he wasn't my handler, but and I just kind of like point to the rest of them. All your previous handler, was not privy to the information that the Demir had caused the outbreak. Fuck, what was my other point? Hold on. Baba.
You said the symptoms were petrification of the blood, correct?
One of them. Sometimes it turns into sand.
So there are two sets of symptoms. One is turning the blood to sand. The other is petrification of the corpse.
Were there any other samples of petrification in the lab when we went there?
There were quite a few. You were the one who provided them. There were no samples of petrification before you provided the Sisters of Stone magic.
I just remembered my second point. Apologies. But it's also possible that when the Demir made this plague, it was more than they thought it would be and are now trying to correct it. I doubt that one is the case, but it's possible.
It's certainly possible, but we also can't rule out the possibility that this was their intention all along.
And that's why I think we need to find this Enoch. If anybody is going to know what their reasoning was, it might be them.
True. I would not be surprised if the Demir both helped the Golgari cause and now want to be the heroes of a viral disease.
But under my understanding, the mayor don't exist to pretty much everyone. How could they be the hero of something if there's
What's better
no
introduction back to society than saving society itself?
No, not the Demir a whole. Someone in the Demir.
And Enoch may have that answer. We can hypothesize as long as we want, but I think I know where the answer is. It's just a matter of how we want to find it. Are we at least in agreement that finding this individual would be important to us?
It
Yes.
would be important, but
I
is our
agree.
objective getting down to Smati, or is this overtaking that?
Primary objective should still be Rixmati. That has a time
Yeah.
limit that is quickly expiring, and the fact
Yes,
is,
I believe
if
in
we
like
do not fulfill
3
it, the Demir will
days,
come
Fox
first.
may die.
Yeah, and Rixmati might be our way to finding him anyway.
That's true.
If you're all in agreement, then there's one other thing that I need everybody to be in agreement on. I don't know all of your ties to the Demir specifically, but if we find Enoch and he doesn't give us the information we need, I will kill him myself.
Okay.
That works.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't think any of us are particularly tied to him.
I didn't think so, but
As Clara pipes up and just says, I would prefer if we did not kill our friend. Or something along those lines.
I figured none of you would oppose. I mostly wanted to ensure that if justice is brought to somebody that was behind this, it may make us enemies of the Demir. I just want that to be something you're all ready for. If it comes to it. It may not. But it is a risk I am willing to take, and I hope that you all are as well.
I will say, I think we should really exhaust our options before making an enemy of them.
Yes, I absolutely plan to. But let it be known, I will do what I can to get those answers.
Our way forward still teeters on the scouting mission. Otherwise, we might have to search alternative moves into Rixmati. I think this might be a discussion to be held over the long rest.
Yeah.
All right. I think that is a really good place to end the session.
I had something I want to do before taking the long rest.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Is this dugong a medium or smaller creature?
It is a medium
You
Dolgont.
just call it a fucking dugong.
It is not a seal Pokemon or walrus Pokemon.
Dugong's are an
But
animal.
Tentacle man.
it is a medium creature.
All right. So that and then the plague victim, I'm both gonna play out, and I'm going to, before taking the long rest, use my level 4 spell to cast.
I'm not letting you touch this one. That is not safe. You do not touch this corpse.
Why are you animating the corpse?
I am not doing biological means. I am using soulful means.
But don't touch it. Also, Connor, animate dead has to be a humanoid, right?
Is that so?
Does it? Because
Yeah,
I had-
humanoid. Yep, humanoid.
This is very
Because
much
Escher-
not a
I was
humanoid
gonna say,
anymore.
Escher would tell you in the least metagamey way possible, but in game he's gonna tell you like, buddy, I don't think it's gonna work on that. That thing is more
Humanoid.
and
Yeah, it's got the
And,
human
like-
features.
And he would just kind of point to himself and be like, "It's less me, more colony. I don't think your magic's gonna work."
Doesn't have bones.
That's
You don't know yet. It has stuff. Its anatomy definitely seems weird.
I don't
You
think
can
So
I would
guess.
trust
What I
so.
hear you saying, Escher, is, and I point at the thing, plant.
So I'm going to raise the plague victim instead, because I'm not going to raise Baleem, since I still think he's a valuable bargaining chip.
That is a valuable bargaining chip.
All right, so you are taking the Sandman corpse and
Yep.
reanimating? Okay. Give me 1 second because I need to I think that might also no longer be considered a humanoid. That is no longer considered a humanoid. That corpse is now considered an aberration.
So, the slime downstairs had some bones. Just go down there, leave these bodies up here, go get those, go grab 2 skeletons from the slime, and then come back.
And I spend a half hour grabbing a skeleton or 2.
Yes. Also, you can just, like, as you start talking about this and you say that you're gonna go down, a few seconds later, you just see a skeleton kind of bubble up through the sewer grates and get deposited next to it.
I'm just gonna, like, finger point, like, thank you. And then I'm gonna cast it on that to get a Skelly Boy.
You get a Skelly Boy.
Yes!
They give you enough actual humanoid bones to make a Skelly Boy before the long rest.
And finally, I can do what all skeletons are destined to do. I'm get commanded to start cleaning this place up.
It kind of just like
a mismatch of different like humanoid bones, like some of them not quite fitting with the others.
Yeah, this thing is like very unstable. It's much more like Frankenstein's skeleton. But like it's functional. And you see as it starts just like going around, taking some of the like cracked and shattered wood and putting like it starts making piles off to the side and starts clearing out the building.
I wonder how the elder prevented people from coming inside. Since this was storefront.
I think the frog hemoth might have done the trick.
But if people known about the frog hemoth, then I'm pretty sure that people would have.
They would be eaten by the frog hemoth, yes.
Aldrich, all I'm going to say on that front is the elder clearly has a steady supply of humanoid bones.
Gotta come from somewhere.
Yeah.
All right. I think that is a good place to end the session. You all do gain the benefits of a long rest. This place is safe as it is now Aldrich's workshop.
I have less health at the end of the long rest than I did at the start.
What? How's that work?
I lost all my temp HP.
Ah.
Before we wrap up, Justin, anything you'd like to say?
I'm gonna be taking a hiatus. I'm going to be not gonna be like in the jump back in like a couple of games later on, but this might be my last one for a little bit.
It has been real fun playing with you, Justin. You and I have already gone over some of the stuff you're going to be doing on the side, but it's been great having you in the party.
I guess it's a good thing that there's a piece of your boss in my head, so now I'll always know what you're doing.
Yeah.
I'm sorry we helped your captors that literally stole you away from your regular life and made you into a monstrosity. I'm sorry we helped them to unleash a plague upon the entire world that may end up killing us all.
not
It
do
happens,
either
right?
of those
It's just
things.
Tuesday.
I've apologized for nothing.
All Tavro
It's
has
just a
done is
Tuesday,
kill some
alright?
undead and find a really cool rock.
Yeah, he's
Yep.
actually done nothing wrong here.